Welcome back to another episode on the Logic Speak podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bieber. This is Jason Etheridge. And today, Jason, I'm pumped to talk to you about our backyard strategy. Welcome back to our show.
Yeah, thanks for getting us going here.
Yeah, man. So, when I think about the backyard strategy, I think about the Mandalorian and the simple phrase, "This is the way," because it's something that you and I have talked about and felt the entire time that I've been involved at Logic Speak. It's something that you have probably lived and breathed for years, but I also feel like it's something that we have recently cultivated language around and a real tangible strategy for.
Yeah, I think it was always in the water here.
Yeah.
And especially in all of our conversations, we just weren't able to name it
Yeah.
and to put words to it. And over time, right, that it started to kind of reveal itself.
Yep.
As this backyard principle that we have. So it's been fun to think through and talk through with you.
At its very simple definition for us, the backyard strategy is showing up for the community right where we live.
That's right. Showing up
live,
where
work,
you
and
are.
play.
That's right.
Show up where you are.
Yeah.
Just to go to our mission statement, to have a positive impact on the lives of our clients, employees, and community, this is the only way to really show up for the community. And so I do want to talk a little bit about some of the areas that we've chosen to invest right here in our community in the greater North Fulton, Alpharetta area. But really just want to kind of hear your heart in why this is so important to you.
Yeah. So the reason it's important is because it's missional. It is where we were planted, where we were put to have a positive impact. That's why I love that it comes from our mission statement. Is that's our goal is to do that. And so I think a lot of times we spend a lot of sales and marketing efforts at all of these things outside of our communities.
Yep.
Right? We want to expand the reach. We want to reach thousands of email addresses. We want to get 1 million people to come to our website. There's these aspirations of, we feel like,
Sure.
It's always a math game, right? You do this many in this stage of the pipeline, and then there's this many, and then this many, and this many, and how many drop out the bottom. Pretty traditional sales and marketing strategy. But I don't think that's not human. That's not connective. That's not relational. And one of the things that I think defines is very unique about Logic Speak is that we are people helping people. And people always look at me weird when I say, "Oh no, we're not people helping computers. We're not people helping technology." That is the vehicle that we use, but we're honestly people helping people.
Yep.
And so to show up in our communities and I want to clarify what this is not. This is not showing up to sell to our communities.
Correct.
This is showing up to help and to serve our communities.
Yep.
And so the heart behind it is to serve. And when you do that, people know you, people value you, and people want to help you too.
Yep.
And so there's a dare I say the word symbiotic? I don't like that, but there is this people helping people mentality that we're going to help people in the community, and people are going to help as well.
Yeah.
And I think together, back to your previous statements earlier, in a previous podcast, a rising tide, right?
Yep.
We all help each other, and we all elevate ourselves.
Yeah, we've said before in different rooms and with different people, this isn't a sales strategy.
Mm-mm.
You've shared this with your peer group. This is not a sales strategy. This is DNA.
Yep.
This is who we've decided to be. This is how we execute our mission. And when we execute our mission, a wonderful byproduct is there are times where it lines up and aligns for us to support another company.
That's right.
But we are not doing this because we want clients. We are doing this because this is who we are. This is an extension of your personal life mission, which we've talked about. This is an extension of the company mission. And, how that does connect to, it's like, okay, well then how do you take this approach and then create a process around it and a sales strategy around it? Because at some point you still have to attempt to win clients. And so there is this balancing act of showing up authentically, showing up to serve, and then kind of allowing what happens to happen.
Yeah.
And here's kind of what I'll say, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts. But when it comes to customer acquisition, at least in our space, anyways, we're looking for an ideal client profile that is a certain size, that we know we have the capacity to support, that is in the right industry, that we know we have experience supporting, that is the right culture fit, that they're going to understand our values and match those, that is probably already in another contract. And so when they're ready to come to us, it's usually about 90 days from
At
the
least.
overlap. And then there has to be a reason for them to want to change providers. And so that's a lot of things that have to fall into place in order for somebody to be ready to engage in that sales conversation. So if I just walk into every single networking room and be like, I'm just going to try to have sales conversations,
Right.
I'm going to miss the mark.
Well, and the thing that became evident to me while you were talking is there are a ton of people, a ton of companies in our community that don't fit that model.
Yeah,
But we want to serve them too.
100%.
Because they might, ultimately they may end up knowing someone who needs our help.
Yeah.
They may have a partner, a vendor, whatever. So I think it's disingenuous to say we're only here to serve the people we want to work with.
Yep.
That's not the heart behind it.
Yep.
Yes, ultimately from a sales perspective, I think it's a both and, not an either or.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to have a pipeline. Yes, we have to have first time appointments. We have to do all the things.
Yep.
But the goal of the backyard principle is not, basically scanning every company before you walk up to them at a networking event to say, oh, well, do I want to work with them? Let me talk to them. Or no, I don't want to work with them. I'm going to avoid them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's missing the mark.
And you know what I love about this is, as a business development person, it gives me the joy of getting to show up truly authentic to myself.
Right.
Because there's a networking event that I go to weekly at the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Shout out to Callie and the team. And in the registration, there's a spot for you to put like preferred industries to work with. I mean, it's lead gen. Every single time I register, all I put is, we're here to serve you.
Awesome.
Because really, I'm showing up to that room to look for ways that I can connect people. I have brought friends in.
Yep.
I've connected people and said, hey, you two should work together. Hey, this guy does AI. You want to talk about making agents? Go talk to Don at Highland, because he's ahead of the game and he can go ahead and help you. Like, we're looking for ways to support the economic engine of this community. But then also there's really great organizations and nonprofits. And because of that group, I get to be a part of an advisory board for a nonprofit. Like, there's so many areas where we're able to just serve and give. And you're right. When the opportunity presents itself and something bubbles up and somebody needs our help, we're top of mind because we've just been showing up. And then I can put them into the sales process that we have dialed in to hopefully best serve those prospects so that they can make a clear decision. And then ultimately onboarding some new clients. But I think what oftentimes happens is people are looking for a silver bullet, and they're looking for, okay, if I just do this thing, then you promise me.
Say this thing, do this thing,
Yeah.
send this thing, win this deal.
Yep.
And I think that's counter to how actual small business services sales work.
Yep.
And I also think you lose something.
Yeah.
If that's your approach.
Well, and here's the thing. You just talked about losing something. It's really hard to quantify what you gain by just showing up and helping folks out, by just being a connector, by just investing in the community and in the backyard of where you are.
Yep.
Um,
And I think to if I can speak to
Please.
maybe somebody out there is thinking through this, but we want to be bigger. We want to be regional. We want to be national. We want to be global. What
Great.
if my backyard is the whole world? And I think what I would say to that is it's one backyard at a time.
Yep.
So even Logic Speak, right? We're on a mission this year to acquire another company.
Ooh.
And so then we'll be gaining another backyard.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And so we're going to show up in that backyard just like we have here.
Yep.
That group of people in that community, they're going to show up and start to serve. If they haven't already, they're going to start to serve in that community. And then we will expand our backyards.
Yep.
So I don't think that they are at odds with each other. I think
No.
you can be regional, national, or international.
Yeah.
And still apply this principle.
Yeah. What we're not looking for is a quick hack to get rich fast or a rapid growth strategy. What we're talking about is building and growing organically, authentically, and investing as we go. Right. And so that does require more investment. That does require time. There's areas across the community here in Alpharetta where all of us are investing time. I already mentioned the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. There's different membership levels. We bumped our membership up to the strategic investor level. Why? Because we wanted to show the chamber and the other strategic investor businesses in the chamber that, hey, we're here for you guys.
Yep.
We're going to invest at this level and show up to the events that are exclusive to this group because we really want to show up and be here for you. In addition to that, you're on the board. You're volunteering to be on the board, which I think you have a board meeting today.
I do.
Which does require time.
Sure.
Let's talk about the other board that you're a part of, because that's a neat opportunity as well here in the community.
And I think maybe it's not necessarily obvious that joining a board of a nonprofit is part of showing up in your backyard, but it very much is, because if we want to see our community succeed, it can't just be giving money or going to a networking event. We actually have to be part of organizations and help them move forward.
Yep.
And not that I feel like I have, any more to give than anyone else, but what I do have to give is a little bit of time, right? And a little bit of influence. And so certainly the Greater North Fulton Chamber board that I'm on, I'm so grateful to have been nominated for that. In addition, I'm on the board, actually it's the board of trustees for the Gwinnett Tech Foundation, which is the nonprofit foundation supporting Gwinnett Tech.
Awesome.
And out in Gwinnett and also here in North Fulton, which has a special place in my heart because I'm from Gwinnett originally. And so Gwinnett Tech has been around for a really long time and done a lot of good in our community out in Gwinnett. And so the opportunity to be part of that board of trustees, which one of the primary goals of that board of trustees is to give money to students that need it, to find students that have a need, that have a financial burden, or who have emergency situations and things like that, and actually help partner with them or walk alongside them to help them stay in school, to get their associate's degree or their 2-year degree, is so rewarding. And to go to a graduation or to go to an event that the students have put on, or those kinds of things, is just, oh goodness, it'll affect you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, when you emote as much as you and I do, it's not hard for us to be affected.
No, that's true. That's true.
No, it's so phenomenal. And then, in addition to into the chamber, I've mentioned before being on the advisory council with hemophilia of Georgia, a rare blood disorder that affects people from birth to the grave, and treatment is extremely expensive, and there really is no stopping treatment once you need to start it. And so it can be a lifelong struggle, and oftentimes it's research and just the financial aspect of it, as well as, you and I don't think about it, but if I bump the table on my way, out of the studio, maybe I've got a bruise on my hip and I'm not thinking about it, but someone that is experiencing a blood disorder, that actually could cause internal bleeding.
Right.
And so there's all these other factors that go into play for a child and for, an individual to want to be active and be involved. And so I've learned so much just from that. But they're members of the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, and I got to know Vic and I got to know Milad, and they were like, hey, we love what you're doing and what you're about. Will you come and just help us out with events and be part of kind of a sounding board for us as we strategically plan on how we want to engage more of the community? I'm all in for that. I love that.
Yep.
And I hope that as we share this stuff, this is in no way us wanting to toot our horn, but I think we've gotten a lot of questions about hey, what is this? Tell us practically how you do the backyard. And so I just want to share some of these things, just hopefully to help kind of inspire and encourage some thoughts of how you, whoever's listening, could implement these things into your backyard strategy as well. Another is the Alpharetta Rotary Club. Mm-hmm. And so I've been on this journey that started over a year ago of visiting a Rotary Club, going through their initiation process, becoming a member, and the whole theme of Rotary is service above self.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know the net worth of the room, every Friday morning when I go at 7 a.m. when I go to our breakfast meeting. A lot of influential people in our city, but they're all showing up because we want to give back. We want to serve.
Don't you find it interesting? I've noticed this as well, that a lot of times when you're not there for yourself, you end up getting to be in rooms with people that you never imagined that you could be.
Literally.
because of the people that are there for other people.
100%. 100%. My son thinks it's the coolest thing that the mayor of Alpharetta comes to, and the police chief, that they're Rotarians. And so, and you know, when I see them, I'm, hey chief, hey Jim, you know, like just saying hello to them.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, you know the mayor. I'm like, yeah, dude, dad's tight.
We're tight.
Yeah. And, you know, and then there's some just strategic corporate sponsorships where we want to show up to support the community in different schools and different areas. And those are all things that, yes, some of these do require a financial investment.
Sure.
We're not going to beat around the bush about that. But what we've chosen to do is divert some of our marketing budget dollars toward investing in these areas. And I say this pretty often now, I would rather show up to fewer places more consistently
Yep.
than try to hit every single networking event and every single group in the area.
Yep.
And so could we be involved in 1 million chambers? Yes, we could technically have memberships and be in the directory of 1 million chambers, but we've chosen to invest in the Greater North Fulton Chamber because this is where we are. And that's who we want to align with.
And unfortunately, yes, it sounds great to be part of everything, but when you're part of everything, you can't go deep in anything.
Yep.
And I think that we really prefer, and it's our culture and our personality as a company to have deeper relationships, which not only is with our clients and our clients' employees, but also with the communities that we serve.
Yep. And what I've been able to see is as we've rolled out this strategy, and we've been talking more about it, but as we've been living this out for the last year and a half, the quotas, the numbers that I'm trying to achieve for our business in terms of new customer growth, I'm really not stressed out about getting enough opportunities.
That's great.
Because the opportunities, we're doing the right things on the SEO and website and blogs and social media strategy side. We're getting the word out. We're methodical about that. This isn't the only thing that we do to try to get clients.
Right.
But this is where I invest a lot of my time, and the opportunities are presenting themselves because we're showing up.
Yep.
We're showing up for our community, and people are remembering who we are and what we do. And so that's been encouraging too, is to just see the results. It's fun to go to a lot of events, but it's also neat to see that the focus that we've put is also reaping the byproducts of new opportunities and new clients that we get to serve. I love that you mentioned this already, and I don't want to camp out on it too long, but just the idea that as you grow, you can start to impact other backyards. And as we grow as an organization, we do have clients that are not here in Georgia. And at times it would be nice to be able to show up and do things in Florida or in, South Carolina, where some of our other clients might be. But it's awesome that, as we strategically plan to grow and look at acquisitions, there's going to be the opportunity for us to infuse our DNA into that organization and kind of show them how LogicSpeak operates and replicate that process across the board.
Yeah, one of the things I'm really looking forward to in acquiring another company is to be able to teach them how to show up in their backyard and to go with them and start for them to be known in their own community, right? So that it's not not that we're big, but the big bad company buying the little guy, and then all of a sudden they're nameless, faceless people. It's actually the opposite, that we're trying to buy another company to help them show up better, help them show up more consistently, help them show up for their communities. Yeah. And so I hope that will resonate with a community, and that we just have the opportunity to show up in more backyards.
Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, what the biggest sacrifice, if you want to call it that, the biggest commitment is time. Is you being willing to sit down, decide where it's going to be. You don't have to pick 15 things. It's taken us time to kind of, I didn't even mention Ashley is helping launch the Energy Group, which is a backed by EOS kind of community group of business leaders and business owners in the Metro Atlanta area that want to learn more about EOS.
Right.
And so as the integrator, she gets to partner with an implementer, and the two of them are going to lead a group, two incredible ladies leading an awesome group that we're going to host right here in our office.
I'm so excited to see the fruits of that and to watch Ashley shine as she pours back into other businesses, both in the things we've learned and done well, and also in some of the things that we're speed bumps and roadblocks along the way.
Yeah.
To help them get further and to really see the impact of that EOS can make in a business.
Totally.
And I think it fits perfectly into our backyard strategy.
100%. I also don't know if we said this publicly, but eventually those two are going to do a podcast takeover. I've already told both of them.
Fantastic.
They can just run the thing and have some fun talking about it. As they start to host more of these meetings, I think they're going to have a good time coming in here and sharing more about it. So here's kind of the takeaway, the encouragement. I would strongly encourage you who's listening to figure out where's one area that you could show up differently.
Yep.
Pick a spot, pick someplace in your backyard, and start showing up. And don't go there for any other reason than to serve.
Yep.
And just look at the potential impact that you're going to be able to have. And honestly, I think staying motivated by the impact of serving is what keeps which keeps my heart pure and why I show up, because I just love the opportunity. I love being able to see people encouraged and to see them feel supported by us, knowing that they can rely on us, even if they're not a client, is like the coolest thing. And so pick a spot, show up in your backyard, start showing up consistently, show up to serve. If there's places where you can divert some marketing budget and be a little bit more of a strategic partner in certain areas, chambers of commerce are great. There's a lot of ways that you could do that. And then one more thing is a big reason why we're doing this podcast is because it's allowing us to show up differently for our backyard.
Yep.
I don't know very many other folks that do what we do that are choosing to take time out of a workday to sit down and create content to help encourage and empower our community. And so whether you're watching this from Alpharetta, Georgia, or you're watching it from anywhere in the world, we hope that it encourages you to invest in your backyard, your community. Any closing thoughts, Jason?
Yeah, no, I obviously we're still learning. This is still, we will be on this path for a good long while. And so I look forward to a follow-up episode where we talk about some of the exciting things that we're doing at that time. But it's just warms my heart that how we've shown up and the feedback that we've gotten and the relationships that we built. And again, we're not trying to tie dollar for meeting, dollar for engagement, or this is not about campaigns and measuring where the money comes from. This is really about having a positive impact on the community.
Yep.
And so watching that flourish and watching you get to do what you do and just the organizations that we've been able to impact and be a part of and connect with, it's why we do what we do.
It is. So what you can look forward to is we're going to start bringing some of those pieces to our backyard right in here in the studio and having them on and letting them get to kind of share some of the things that they're about, because it's about our community. It's not just about what we're doing here, but it's about encouraging, empowering, believing in our community, and then shining a light on what those amazing people are doing right now today to support others. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Logic Speak podcast. We'll be back with more soon. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks.